My name is LJ Lowry from Geeks Under Grace, and I am here with Raheem Jarbo, aka Megaran. And so I just had a few quick questions for you. So I listened to your song "Believe" when it came out on R&DM, and you talk a lot about your faith and about how your mom played a big impact. So one of the questions I had for you was, how do you apply those values and things to your career and your interactions with people?
It's easy. I think it's important to let that shine and show in your action and the way you talk to people, the way you treat people, the way you conduct yourself. I'm very big on character, and I think that it's one of those things where it will always show, through the way that you conduct yourself. So I just make sure to try to be the best person I can be and let my, faith reflect in that, in my journey.
Cool. And then so another question, I guess, to follow up with that is, in terms of those values, our world is in, it's in a crazy state right now, and things happening. So what would you say if, what kind of things could the world learn from those values?
Well, we got to learn love and empathy, and I think empathy most importantly. I just feel like social media has kind of taken that away, where no one feels any feeling or repercussion for anything they say or do. So I really think it's got to come back to, one-on-one personal interaction, even to the point where people say a negative thing about me or something, and they'll send it right into my inbox, and I respond, and the first thing they say is, "Oh, I didn't think you would see that." "Oh, I didn't think you would know." Yeah. And well, what do you think? Do you just feel like it's just a screen, it's just a button, it's just a image on a paper? It's not a real thing with real feelings. And I think that with more empathy, I think we could all use that to treat each other a lot better. And that's really what it is. Just remembering that people have feelings and people are real behind these screens.
That's awesome. And so speaking of screens, I wanted to get into some gaming talk a little bit. I know you're heavy on the retro stuff, and that's your jam, but you also play some new things. So what kind of games have you been enjoying recently?
Tetris Effect has been really fun.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, that game is so good. I wish it had some local multiplayer, honestly. I was a little bit disappointed with that.
Yeah.
But, as an old school gamer, I'm used to split screen or pick up the controller, and that's a thing of the past, which is really sad. I got to go online and play with people I don't know, and I can't play with the person that's right next to me. But I digress. Red Dead Redemption is great.
Same.
I'm a wrestling fan, so Fire Pro Wrestling, WWE 2K. I've been playing Destiny, I've been playing God of War, Monster Hunter World, and on Switch, I've been playing a lot of Octopath Traveler. It's my favorite RPG by far. So yeah, that's what I'm into.
Cool. And then, I don't know how much time you get to spend on the show floor, but what are some of your favorite things you've gotten to check out?
Well, there's a mobile game called Jetstream that I really, really dug a lot. My good friend, Godric Johnson, made it. He's been working on it for 4 years. It's super fun, fast action, kind of Wipeout reminiscent with some cool storyline stuff. I'm into anything kind of cyberpunk-ish, and that Valhalla, things like that have been really, really fun for me. So those are definitely the best. That's the best thing I've seen, though, Jetstream.
Cool. And then lastly, what are some new releases you're looking forward to checking out in 2019?
Well, the Mortal Kombat trailer got me excited, even though it's just way too gory.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'll be able to handle it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah.
But it looks cool. But yeah, I don't know if it's for me. That Anthem game, whenever this thing comes out, I think it's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to that. Man, I think those are definitely the ones I'm looking forward to the most.
Cool.
The Anthem, though, that looks great.
Awesome. Well, that's about it. I just wanted to see what you thought of the community and PAX and things like that, and just wanted to see if you could share a little bit about your faith. So I appreciate it.
Hey, I got a question for you, if you don't mind answering. All right. Being a faith-based organization, also in the gaming space, have you felt any resistance? And what are some challenges with attempting to push faith in the gaming world? If you could tell me that.
It's been very interesting. One thing we've seen it especially on Twitch, because we have a Twitch channel. Twitch is, I mean, the whole internet's a very toxic place. But one thing we've seen, actually, we haven't had a lot of pushback. We've had trolls and things come in, especially when we have our female streamers, and But the cool thing is, we had a pledge drive a couple years ago, and there was a guy, and he's like, he's like, you guys are Christians? And we said yes. And then he's like, are you the praying kind? And we're like, oh, yeah. And so there was a time where, so my buddy paused the game, and so we just prayed for him right there. And he's like, thank you. And so people come in, and they're just like, wow, I didn't know this could happen. So this could be a thing. The push, I don't know if there's necessarily a pushback, but the thing we've been trying to reach, especially with PAX, this weekend, is to get people to have that conversation. And like one guy, he just kind of we were wearing these prayer team shirts, and he said, and he's like, oh, can you pray for me? And we asked, what's your name? And he said his name, and then he said, then he asked what for, and he said, oh, for my kids. And so it's just something as simple as that. It's just what we've been trying to be able to do, passing out pins and things like that. So I don't know if it's necessarily pushback, but it's just been a more like a confusion, like, what, really? So yeah, no, it's been awesome. Mostly positive feedback. So
that's cool. You're doing a great thing. I just want to say, keep it up. It's tough. I think for me, even I was just more afraid. I guess that it wasn't like I got pushback, but I just noticed from friends in the gaming community that I felt like a lot of just again like a lack of like empathy or concern about faith and things like that, and it almost felt like there wasn't any space for that. So I feel like when I did start talking about it, I'd had people come up to me like, oh my gosh, you're a Christian, that's so cool. Because I think in our geek space, I hate to say it, it's almost been kind of cool to not believe in God. You know what I mean? The science versus religion thing is very real in the nerd space, because we're all smart, and when you're so smart, you feel like you have the answer to everything. So that's almost the biggest issue, is dealing with people who are so intelligent and getting them to understand that there are some things beyond your understanding. So very, very cautious but excited about the idea of bringing my faith. And I don't like throw it in anyone's face, but I always let them know it's there. Like, I'm willing to pray with you and talk to you. And yeah, I think that's super important. So you guys are doing great work.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And it was good chatting with you.
Likewise. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.